I want to talk to you about the strategy, how you did it, what a rent to rent is, what a lease option agreement is, what service to accommodation is, how you did it, what area you've done it in, and I really want to go through the A to Z so that people watching this maybe can skip some of the hardships that you took. They can copy it, paste it, and do the same watching the video. So first things first, rent to rent. That was your first deal.
Yeah, first deal.
How did you find it? What happened?
So the rent to rent, initially I spent a lot of time phoning agents, getting rejected, told, oh, we don't know what a company let is, we don't know what rent to rent is, leave us alone, phone down. I was like, picked up the phone again, just kept going and going and going and going, and I had to go for no every time.
What does that mean? What does go for no mean?
So don't expect them to be like, oh yes, we do company lets, corporate lets, rent to rents. Yeah. Don't expect that, and just keep ringing the phone. The more times you ring the phone, the more likely you are to get a yes.
But that's a really big lesson straight away. Rather than ringing up and thinking, I hope they say yes, I hope they say yes, I hope they say yes, and then they say no, and you go, oh, rejected, and then you quit. If you think, actually, they probably will say no, and guess what? That's part of the game. Hey, my name's Tom, I'm looking to rent this property. It would be a corporate let. I wouldn't be living there myself. And if they go, whoa, we don't do corporate lets, beep, you go, well, I expected that to happen anyway.
Yeah.
And then you pick up the phone again. And then you pick up the phone again. So how many people did you speak to before you had someone that said, yeah, I'm open?
I must have made about 20 phone calls, 20, 30 phone calls before I got a yes.
Rejection. What was it that kept you going through the rejections?
Knowing that if I did keep ringing and I followed kind of scripts or maybe what I'd seen on videos that you'd done and how to talk to the agents, make sure you said the right things, because that's really important. If you kind of pick up the phone without any confidence, not knowing exactly what you're going to say and kind of wing it, if you've not done it before, it's really hard to kind of get that conversation going.
Yeah.
So picking up the phone, knowing what to say, being polite with confidence, expecting no, and then obviously eventually after the 30 calls I got a yes, which was fantastic. And
amazing.
Then,
so that first agent that was like, yes, this is something we're open to, you're based where?
Huddersfield.
You're based in Huddersfield, and you're trying to convince me that Huddersfield is a great holiday destination. Not sure about that one still. Huddersfield or Hawaii, I'm not sure, but we'll get there. So this first house in Huddersfield, what was it? What was it currently being used as?
So it was currently just being used as a single let. It was advertised as 2 bedrooms, but it had a reception room and a loft.
Right.
So they had the floor plan on their website, and I thought, well, that's easily 1, 2, that's 4 rooms.
Yes.
So
how do you turn a sitting room into a bedroom?
Put a bed in it.
Yes. So you see this 2 bedroom for rent. How much was it on for rent?
£575 a month.
575, and you're thinking, well, hold on a minute. Rooms are renting for like £400 a month. I could rent both rooms out and the sitting room and the loft, and I could get about, what, £1,500?
£1,500, yeah, that's how much.
And then I'm going to pay the landlord, I'm going to pay the bills, I'll be left with a ka-ching, some nice passive income for me.
£550 a month profit.
So that profits you £550 a month?
Yeah.
Setting it up, I mean, dude, man, I came out to the house. I've seen the house. You had to paint it yourself.
Yeah.
You had to furnish it. How much money did you have to put to get that property?
So I didn't actually pay a deposit on the property.
How did you get around that?
Sweet talking, kind of. I just kind of said, well, it's great as it is, but this is as a single let, but this is what I want to do. I'm going to need to paint. I'm going to need to put in furniture in 4 rooms, which isn't cheap. I'm going to have to get a carpet put in the loft. And then I was kind of like, well, come on then. And then they were like, yeah, go for it. And then I had to pay $575 the day that I signed. So I had to pay
upfront rent.
Yep, upfront. And then the furnishings for the beds and the bedside tables, that was all IKEA. And the carpets, and then I painted myself, but I still had to buy the paint and the paint brushes and stuff.
Yeah.
So cost around £600, all of that.
Yeah.
The rent up front $575, so you're looking at just over £1,000.
That's not a lot though still.
No, it's not, because it made itself back in 2 months.
So just over $1,000, but you had to put some sweat equity in it because you did a lot of the stuff yourself.
Yeah.
However, so talk me through the figures. £1,500. How long did it take to fill the rooms?
Not long at all. Maybe 2 weeks from when I got the keys.
2 weeks. I know your mum was a little bit stressed.
Yeah.
Because she was like, oh, you've just gone on Samuel Leeds' course and now you've rented this house. What happens if you can't rent the rooms out?
Yeah.
What does your mum think?
So she's quite an old-fashioned landlady. Her and my dad have done pretty well in property, but only really buying properties and renting them out, just single lets.
Yeah.
Got a few HMOs, but she'd never heard of the concept of rent to rent. So I told her all about it. I've been on Samuel Leeds' online crash course. I've looked at some of the videos. This was like a really good idea for someone my age that doesn't have a lot of money or experience. I can, make a few £100 a month, and I also get the experience of being a landlord. And she was like, oh, well, I've never heard of this. I've been doing this for 18, 20 years. I've got no idea what this is. Are you sure? And I was like, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Did she give you money to get started?
No, nothing.
Nothing at all. So, all right. So your mum was a little bit skeptical. You started yourself.
Yeah.
You put your own money in.
Yeah.
From just little side jobs and stuff while you were studying. You also, this property, did you rent the rooms yourself?
Yes. So
you didn't pay letting agents?
No, I advertised them all myself on Open Rent, Spare Room, and Facebook Marketplace.
Cool. Which is next to nothing.
That's completely free.
Completely free.
Yeah.
So you marketed the rooms. You filled them single-handedly.
Yeah.
You then getting a profit of like about £500 something a month. What did you think when you got that first property and the money started coming in?
Like I said, I kind of had to pinch myself a little bit. Like I've never really heard of any other 18-year-old landlords.
Yeah.
Like people were paying me money to have a roof over their head, and I was kind of like, this is not this. I was like, a year ago, this is not the service that I think I'd be providing for people.
Yeah.
And then when I started seeing the money coming in, I was like, well, where's the next one? Kind of thing.
Now you used the money, you reinvested it. Mm-hmm. You've done, you've done quite a bit of training with myself.
Yes.
How's the training been, by the way?
It's been fantastic. Everything's been so informative, and dotted every I, crossed every T, all the details. And without the training, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't be sat here if it wasn't for the training. I wouldn't be financially free. I wouldn't be able to kind of almost do what I want when I want now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful for that.
Oh, well, thank you for saying it. And for me, it's a great buzz being able, because when I started out, I was 17. I got my first house at 17, and being able to see other young people win, it's awesome.